when I adapted a minimalist lifestyle when I was in my 20s, I was certain that the items that I was talking about and the items that I knew that I didn't really need, I was certain that I wasn't gonna need them when I got older. But things do change. As you get older, your mind changes about certain topics, certain products, certain people. So with that being said, I wanted to make this video because you don't see this being spoken a lot about in the minimalist community, where your mind changes on, the things that you said you were never gonna purchase or never gonna buy. As the years go on, you realize like, all right, these items aren't that bad as I thought they were. Life is all about changing and growing. Just wanted to put that out there. I was kind of scared to make this video because I didn't want to sound like a total hypocrite. But when you guys first met me, I was single in my first apartment. I think I only lived there for like 2 months and I started recording videos. I was in my 20s, so things have definitely changed. I am almost in the middle of my 30s now, and I feel a little bit more certain with things that I said I wasn't gonna own, and then I start rethinking like, all right, is it worth it now? It might be worth it. I have a partner now. We have a cat. Like, my family is growing. So yeah, it's not just me anymore in my first apartment. So with that all being said, the first thing that I changed my mind about is coffee machines. I will be 100% honest with you guys as much as I can. We own 3 coffee machines. You guys are probably wondering, what the heck are we doing with 3 coffee machines? Like, are we opening up a coffee shop? Am I turning into a barista? And no, I'm not doing any of those things, but we try to prepare ourselves for our move. Like, well, we're not moving anytime soon, but when we do move, I'm technically manifesting it at this point. When we do move, we plan on renting some of the units. We plan on buying like a 3 tenement, something like that. We would like to add some of these coffee machines in the units, and also we kept one for ourselves. So I know I'm all over the place with this video. Bear with me, it's such a different video to make, but the 3 coffee machines that we own, they were free. They were in the lobby, they were dirty. I brought them upstairs. It took me hours to deep clean all 3 of them. We have 2 Keurigs and 1 old-fashioned coffee machine. We kept the big Keurig for when we make tea, when we have company over, and it's such a nice thing to have in the house. Like, you can have boiled water within seconds compared to boiling the water on the stove, which I did for years. I had no problem doing that, but I see the advantage of having a coffee machine now, especially when we have family members over, which has been quite frequently lately. Another thing that I changed my mind about is having more than 1 jacket. When you guys met me, I only owned 1 jacket. It was a winter jacket. I still have my winter jacket till this day. The only thing now is I've realized like I can't wear that winter jacket in the fall or in the spring. It's just too heavy. So I have 2 peak coat jackets, a tan and a black, and those work great to run errands in. Again, my style has definitely been evolving little bit by little. I don't have the full budget to, update all of my clothes. Again, I'm still wearing like the same stuff here and there, but I do have 3 decent jackets. And again, the old me would have been like, nope, we can deal with a long sleeve shirt and leave the house, in the fall and spring. Older me is like, no girl, you need to be warm. Even if it's like 40 degrees out, you need at least some kind of jacket. It doesn't have to be a winter jacket, but you need some kind of jacket. Like a cardigan is just not gonna cut it. I could see a cardigan cutting it in the springtime, but like fall, especially where we live, no, a cardigan is not enough. So usually I will have my cardigan and my peak coat jacket, and it also works great too. Like, it makes me feel put together when it comes to like going to appointments and stuff. I like wearing the peak coat jackets, and I like that I have a different color to choose from each time. So if I don't want to wear the beige, I can wear the black. If I don't want to wear the black, I can wear the beige. Another thing that I changed my mind about is having a decent hair care routine. When you guys met me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was the type of person to dye my hair once a month. My hair was black. I used to mix it up. I used to do blue black, jet black, any kind of like dark hair dye I can get my hands on. I would use. And let me get closer to the camera now because I'm talking about hair. This is my natural color. It is like a copper brown. I'm not a fan of the copper, not gonna lie, but I am embracing it. And I'm realizing that when it comes to my hair, I don't need to color it these days. What I really need the most is a decent hair care routine. So trimming it every 4 months works great for me. My hair has never been this full and this bouncy. Like, it is extremely bouncy and healthy. I've never seen my hair in this healthy state. A lot of you guys have noticed that my hair looks a lot healthier, and thank you so much, because I have worked my butt off to have healthy hair. So when it comes to having a decent hair care routine, back in the day, all I did was use a bunch of hair dye, and I liked the feel of the hair dye and how it, it made my hair feel silky. It didn't show like the copper. So I thought that doing that or dyeing my hair once a month was the healthiest thing that I could do. And it wasn't. I wasn't doing any like deep conditioning. I was not trimming my hair. My hair was very like stringy back in the day. It was not as full. So anyways, I didn't have a decent hair care routine. With these days, I oil my scalp twice a week. I do a deep conditioner. I don't use a lot of styling products, so I don't have to like detox my scalp constantly. Again, I trim my hair every 4 months. So with trimming my hair every 4 months, I'm noticing how fast it's growing and how full it is these days. Actually, let me bring it down so you guys can see. I'm always like having my hair up in my videos, but the body of my hair and the volume of it has just been really, really nice. And again, I haven't had my hair like this healthy in a long time. And by the way, you guys, this is day 3 old hair. Usually when I had day 3 old hair, it was never this shiny or this feathery and bouncy. So building a decent routine, let me just show you guys. I know I look crazy right now because the lighting is a little off, but building a decent routine has helped me achieve feathery, fuller hair. And back in the day, I used to think that having healthy hair wasn't going to be a thing for me. I didn't think that these routines would work. I used to think that they were all a waste of money, and I have such a different take when it comes to hair routines. Now, don't get me wrong, my routine is still very simple and still very minimal. I just did a lot more research when it came to what my hair needed compared to what I needed back then and I wasn't doing. Pamper sessions is something that I never thought that I would crave to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I've never been to a spa. I have never gotten a massage, nothing like that in my life, because those things do cost a lot of money and I'm not willing to spend that kind of money these days. But you can also have a pamper routine at home. You can have a little face mask. For me, I use fresh aloe gel. I'll put on some comfy pajamas. I'll put some lotion on my feet, put a sock on to lock in that moisture on my feet to wake up with soft feet the next morning. There are so many little things you can do at home. I used to think back then pamper sessions were only for people that could afford them out there in the real world, but you can have a decent pamper session at home. So I'm not against any of that anymore. If you are into face masks, go for it. Unfortunately, my skin is very sensitive. So what I found that works best for me when it comes to a face mask is fresh aloe gel. Again, it's always trial and error when it comes to what works for you with doing your pamper sessions at home. Also, I like to just fill up the tub. It's not the most fanciest tub, but I still like to fill it up, some warm water. I'm grateful that we even have warm water. I remember growing up as a kid, there were times where we didn't have warm water. So being able to sit in a tub that's warm is a nice little treat to myself. And I like to just like plop my laptop on the sink and just watch like a Hallmark movie with the lights off in the tub. And that's like a nice pamper session for myself. Again, everyone is different, but I would say that's more of a pamper thing for me now. Back in the day, I didn't even think of doing any of that. And like I said, I thought you had to spend money in order to feel relaxed. which is not true. So that's why I changed my mind about pamper sessions, because it's not just for people that have money. You can relax and pamper yourself at home with a fraction of the price. Another thing that I changed my mind about, and this is because I feel like I'm becoming somewhat of a at home, not a chef. I don't want to say chef because that's a little too legit. I would say somewhat of a homemaker, but without the kids. I love to cook. I have found this new love with, creating my own recipes, experimenting a lot, and also following recipes. So with me falling in love with cooking, just like any other hobby, there are certain things that you purchase for that particular hobby or thing you love. And the one thing that I have purchased throughout the years is some extra kitchen gadgets. So I own a cheesecloth now, and I will make jam with it. I will strain out, if I made like a broth and I made it thick with flour or cornstarch, I will drain it. Another thing that you can do with the cheesecloth is you can make your own nut milks with them. There's so many things you can do with the cheesecloth. I still have a lot to learn. We do need a new blender, which that's gonna have to wait because blenders are expensive, especially high-powered ones, but I do have my eyes on a couple. So whenever we have the money, that is something that I will invest in because I would like to make our own nut milks. We try not to purchase nut milks anymore at the stores because they have so many like gums and additives. So I've been learning a lot with ingredients, and there are quite a few items that I have purchased that I never thought that I would own back in the day. I'm so happy with this. The items that I have purchased, the new kitchen items that I have purchased throughout these couple of years of learning how to cook better, it has helped me out so much. And these are items, again, that I thought that I would never own or never even think of owning because I wasn't much of a cook back then. So I never found like the love for cooking as much as I do now when it comes to like natural ingredients and clean ingredients, I should say. I don't want to go too deep into this. As you guys can tell, I absolutely love cooking now, but there are some gadgets that I own that I can't picture my life without it, especially with me experimenting so much in the kitchen. It has definitely cut my cooking time in half because some of these kitchen gadgets that I purchase are an extra helping hand. And the last thing that I have changed my mind about completely is multiples. Like I said, with our family growing, and if you think of it, when you get with someone or if you live with someone, not only your family's gonna visit, but that person's family's gonna visit, and one day they're all gonna come at the same day, or you're just gonna have a lot of people over. That has been happening to us. So we definitely need more dishes. We're not buying any right now because we want to do some research on high quality dishes. The dishes that we have are dishes from our past. So when my partner lived alone and when I lived alone, we just combined our dishes. I would say 97% of our silverware and cups and stuff are from the dollar store. There are some things that we had to purchase more of, like we had to purchase 2 extra mugs because when I moved in with my partner, he didn't have any mugs. I only owned 2, and I used to use it just for hot chocolates back in the day. So we purchased 2 extra coffee mugs. Like I said, there's so many other things that we need because we have so many visitors now. Things are just changing in my life for the best. I would say I didn't want this video to be too sentimental, but I guess it's becoming that. But I always dreamt of a life filled with love because I didn't have the best childhood growing up. So I feel like this point in my life, I'm realizing that I have a life filled with love. We have a lot of family members come over. I have my partner by my side. We have Milo, even though Milo doesn't eat at the table, but he has his own area. But needless to say, we have a lot of multiples. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Water bottles, reusable water bottles, we have a decent amount because when family members visit us in the summertime, we'll go for a hike with them. There's a lot of nice hiking trails nearby, or we'll just go for a nice walk in the city. So I'll fill up those reusable bottles. We will all go. Back in the day, I thought just owning 2 of things would be fine forever. because the only person that visited me back then was my partner. So I just didn't see the point of like owning more because no one else visited me. Now I'm like, all right, we definitely need, you know, more plates one day. We're gonna need more. Like just this morning, my partner was like, Kiera, we need more silverware. We're constantly running out of forks. We only own 4 forks right now. So we do need more silverware eventually, because there have been times where people come over and we don't have enough plates or cups, and I'm just like, oh, this is why we need more stuff. And you never hear a minimalist talking about this where they're like, I need more stuff. Most of the time online you hear minimalists say, I need less things. But in your home there are certain areas, for myself, where I feel like we do need more because I am hosting more. My biggest dream is when we get a house, we can have cookouts in the yard. Family members can come over. If we have a guest room, they can stay over and they won't have to like drive back home. We do live pretty far from family members. So I just dream of all of that. I love to host. I love to help others, cater to others when it comes to, you know, food and just making sure that everyone's having a good time and they're happy. So yeah, I am not against multiples. Even if we have to have like some extra like jackets on hand in case someone needs a jacket, like I'm that kind of person these days. It's so weird because I was never like this. But like I said, as life goes on, things change. And without change, there would be no growth.